So now the dust has settled and yet another unsatisfactory ending to a Minnesota Vikings season. We have to look back in the cold light of day and the soberness of after 12 Coors Lights or whatever was consumed. Actually, it's Minnesota, so it was a Golden Light. Was this season a success? Was this a good or bad Viking season? Right, and now before the whole only 19-0 is a success. Yeah, type of jabronis, or those. Winning record, just making the playoffs. I mean, it was pretty gosh darn peachy keen. No, we ain't about that. No, but let's take a look in a vacuum. Let's look at the facts. 10-win season, the third double-digit win season in the Mike Zimmer tenure on 6 years now, looking pretty strongly. It's going to be the 7th year. His 5th straight non-losing season, so he's got that going for him, which is nice. He won a playoff game this year, beat the Saints, exorcised some of the demons. Then also, you got the divisional round, which the Vikings have only done 4 times since 2001, and you got the best season of Kirk Cousins' career. And Kevin Stefanski, Gary Kubiak deserve a lot of credit for that. The Vikings offense went from 32nd in the league in rushing last year to one of the best running games in the league. Dalvin Cook proved himself to be one of the best running backs in the league, up and coming as well. And then also, Kirk made some big throws throughout the season. He did drop some dimes. He was some Potico. And also the offensive line at times, especially in the run game, looked darn competent. But then some of the biggest games, not so much. Not so much. First off, as a team, you no-showed against the Niners. Offensively, you had 4 first downs before garbage time, which is not great, as well as you let Cousins be under duress the entire game. Nick Bosa made Riley Reiff look like he was back being a JV freshman in Iowa, so that is no bueno either. And then also the defense was giving up 4.8 yards a carry to 2 of the Niners running backs, almost had 200 yards rushing, and it's just not great. Just not great. As well as throughout the season, you went 0-4 against the Packers and the Bears. Yes, Week 17 was sort of a whatever, but in 3 games against your biggest division rivals, you really shot yourself. The first one at Lambeau, the defense didn't show up, spotted the Packers 21 points, and then Kirk Cousins gave them the game at the end. Not great. Chicago, you couldn't beat Chase frickin' Daniel. Not great. And then Week 16, Monday Night Football with the division on the line against the Packers, you laid an egg. You had the second worst offensive performance of the season. You saved the worst for the divisional round of the playoffs, which is just great. But good thing was you were 6-0 at home up until then, which... Sure. And then also on the road, we talk about for this team to be taken seriously, you have to beat good teams on the road. Well, you gave away the Chiefs game, even though the Chiefs had Matt frickin' Moore. And also, Monday night at Seattle, always going to be a tough game to play, but you were in that. Except then mistakes just gave the game back to the Seahawks, who I don't think are world beaters either. So, it's just whatever. I feel like this team has the combination. All right, so you have a padlock. You have the numbers to be a Super Bowl caliber team, except you just can't figure out the order. You just can't figure out the combination. Because if the defense is good, the offense is bad. If the offense is good, the defense is bad. If the offense and defense were good, the special teams were bad. So it's just you could just never be consistent and put together week to week, and that was frustrating. And also, you had the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. One misses half the season with a hamstring injury, which he aggravated twice, as well as just the random gash gate, sure. And then you have one of the streakiest wide receivers in the NFL, in Stephon Diggs, who passively aggressively tries to get traded and then puts up one of his best seasons of his career. So, this entire year was just a WTF. What is going on? So, back to the original question. Was this a good or bad season for the Vikings? I guess you would say it's a qualified good, but you just still feel like there was a lot of meat left on the bone. The biggest question coming into the season was, can Kirk Cousins perform in a big game? And yes, he did that against the Saints. Check that box. But also, he's pretty pedestrian in the other big games during the regular season. But then also on the other side, when the offense was clicking in October, early November, he was a borderline top 5 quarterback. He legit was. Respect where it's due. But then, the fact that the Vikings just cannot seem to be good teams with any regularity just makes a question going into next year. You saw the schedule going in on paper. It's going to be tough. It is going to be a tough road to hoe. And generally, when teams win the Super Bowl, you do see a progression where a team is making the playoffs, they're winning the division, and then they get maybe the division round, maybe the championship game, then maybe the Super Bowl. do that. Very rarely do teams just come out of nowhere and just bink off a Super Bowl. I mean, the 99 Rams are extremely rare. So do you see the Vikings as a team that is progressing on that non-linear path to become a Super Bowl champion? I don't know. Like, I want to say yes for sure, but I'm sure optimism will come in the coming weeks, coming months as the Vikings start hitting this offseason. But is this going to be a blip, or is this going to be the bottom of the curve, just heading straight upward as the Vikings go and take down a Jerome Barty? I don't know. But offseason, beef up that O-line, get Zimmer a bunch of new cornerbacks, and let's strap it on for a hell of a 2020. Let's roll one more time. Let's do that up. All right, your thoughts. Good or bad season? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work? Below us up in the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol, production value.